The Cartier Crash is one of the most interesting and fascinating timepieces in the history of watches. There's a bunch of different rumours and stories about the actual origins of the Cartier Crash. Some people claim that the idea for the Cartier Crash came when a Cartier Max Oval watch was half melted in a car crash, sparking inspiration for the Cartier Crash to be born. Other people suggest that the inspiration must be from Salvador Dali's pocket watch in his surrealistic 1931 paintings, but in reality the watch was made in 1960. It was a time of nonconformism in London. Several loyal clients, including the actor Stuart Granger, had been demanding a watch unlike any other. Jean-Jacques, who worked closely with the designer Rupert Emerson, discussed with him how they might try adjusting the popular maxi oval design to look as though it had been in a crash, by pinching the ends at each point and pulling a kink in the middle. Emerson then presented several variants of the proposed idea to his boss. Even one of them looked like a cracking looking dial in order to make the crash theme more realistic, but that was going simply too far according to Jean-Jacques. And even though he was pretty open to new ideas, he still felt like the finished article should be more of an object of beauty, so Emerson was asked to tone it down somewhat. The idea of a cracked dial was scrapped and the final design was approved, so clearly creating this watch was far from straightforward. After Jaeger-LeCoultre had been consulted over the most appropriate movement to use, the design was then passed to the craftsman in the Wright and Davies workshop. Here a template was created for the watch case and it was made from sheets of gold. A standard watch case might take 35 hours to make, but this one took way longer. Once the case was completed, it was then sent to Eric Denton, Cartier London's head watchmaker, who would combine it with a movement, a dial and a winder, and this is where the real complications start. They quickly discovered it was almost impossible to ensure that the numbers on the squash dial remained in the right place to tell the time correctly. The first Cartier Crash watch caused a lot of headaches. Say it's all very well and good coming up with a good looking design, but it had to tell the time as well, and because the dial was irregular, the correct numbers weren't at the standard places. The watch had to be deconstructed and the dial extracted and repainted by Emerson, which is not an easy feat at all. Once the watch was then put together with a new dial, it still didn't tell the time correctly, and it's got a really interesting story. One of the only listings I can find is on Chrono24 for $495,000 for the Cartier Crash. You can get a different variation which is in 18 karat white gold for $89,000, again just an insane number, but the majority of modern Cartier Crashes are produced in a limited series. They're often claimed and bought before even entering the market because of the staggering and ever increasing demand for these timepieces. Notably, we've seen Tyler the Creator flexing this watch, and it's a very historic horological timepiece. If you're a big fan of the Cartier Crash, leave a like down below, it will be greatly appreciated. We do post a new video every single day up on YouTube.